So October is National Security Awareness Month. I think that's such a great opportunity to put some time aside right now to really dive into that topic, that subject, the industry, career opportunities. So welcome. Today's webinar is called Cybersecurity Career Advancement and Protecting Organizations from Attack. This webinar is presented by Todd York, Partner Development Manager at ECCouncil. ECCouncil has certified security professionals from leading organizations across the globe, including the US Army, the FBI, Microsoft, IBM, and the United Nations. ECCouncil's flagship course, Certified Ethical Hacker, set the standard for what the world has come to expect from ethical hacking IT security courses. They are a recognized leader for information, network, computer and internet security training and certification. In today's session, Todd will discuss certification-based cybersecurity training courses offered by ECCouncil and how these courses can quickly advance your careers. During the webinar, everyone's phones will be muted. So if you have any questions, feel free to enter them either in the Q&A box or the chat window at the bottom of your screen. At the end of our webinar, we will dive into those questions during the dedicated Q&A session. If you enjoy the presentation today, and if you're interested in learning more about training anywhere with our interactive virtual platform that we call IMVP, please visit our website or contact us. Today's webinar is recorded, and I'm going to send each and every one of you a copy of that recording. So, without further ado, Todd, let's take it away.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join the webinar. My name is Todd York. I am Partner Development Manager here at ECCouncil, located in the Tampa office. And again, thanks for joining, and we'll go ahead and get started. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about ECCouncil and give you the who, what, and why. So who is ECCouncil? What do we do, and why do we do it? So ECCouncil, we're really, our official title is International Council of E-Commerce Consultants, otherwise known as ECCouncil. But if you say certified ethical hacker, then people really know who we are. So our company was started back in 2001 when our owner and CEO, Jay Bavisi, kind of recognized that after 9/11, that the next major attack may be cyber related. And again, this is back in 2001, so cyber, really wasn't a household term. So he came out with certified ethical hacker. Back then, the term ethical hacker was kind of frowned upon, actually. We were talking with the Department of Defense, the Pentagon at the time, and they actually made us change the name of certified ethical hacker to Certified Network Defense Architect, or CNDA. This is actually death by acronym today. So, but yeah, so ethical hacker, we actually coined that name, and that's really what we're known for. So we're an international company. We've got offices in Malaysia, Singapore. I'm here in Tampa. We have offices in Albuquerque, New Mexico, London, Australia. Certified a lot of people in cybersecurity in a lot of different countries. So we have over 2,700 training partners, training and education partners. So we work with training centers like Exit Certified Tech Data, and some other training centers where students can go and get hands-on training. We also have 2,000 certified instructors, 350 subject matter experts, 1,000 tools. So we've been doing this for quite a while. So what we do at ECCouncil is we create hands-on tactical, offensive, defensive cybersecurity training courses. And we kind of consider ourselves the tip of the spear because our focus is only in cybersecurity. So our courses are vendor neutral and they are not policy based. That's a little bit different than some others that you will see. Vendor neutral means it doesn't matter what software, hardware you're running. Policy-based means we're not here to talk to you about the policy of security. We're not here to give you definitions of security. What is a router? What is an IP address? That is not what we're here for. If you think of it in an analogy as when you buy a home. So you buy a home, you need to secure your home. So you need to secure that with door locks, an alarm system, security cameras, this certain type, a certain type of window. That's the policy of securing your home. Vendor specific would mean an ADT alarm system, a specific brand of video cameras. At ECCouncil, our job is to smash in the front door, smash in the windows, and tell the homeowner what worked and what didn't work and why. So again, we've been around since 2001. Been around for quite a while. We have some national recognition. Again, we're a global organization. We've been on all of the major television networks. Back in 2010, the Pentagon invited us there to teach their staff how to defend their networks. So it just kind of leads to the weight of our brand. This is not really to fly our own flag, but I just want to kind of let you guys know who we are and what it would mean to you to hold certifications from ECCouncil. So some accreditation and recognition. We are recognized and work directly with the NSA. We are ANSI certified. That's the American National Standards Institute. That's for all of our courses. This is rather important because it's not easy to get ANSI accreditation. That means that we have to go through job task analysis, knowledge, skills, and abilities, mapping to job roles. That's extremely extensive, and quite frankly, expensive. So every single one of our courses are ANSI certified. We work directly with the Department of Defense. The Department of Defense has a chart that's called the DoD Directive 8570, or is now being called 8140. That chart says if you're in any branch of the military and you are going to be in cyber or interested in cyber, on this chart are the courses you will take, period. So Certified Ethical Hacker is on that chart. They actually had to build a new category for that certification because it didn't quite fit in the other more baseline training courses. Now, as a couple of months ago, 2 more of our courses have been added, and any day now, another one of our courses is going to be added. That's really big for a few reasons. Again, it's brand recognition. If the DoD is using it, then that's great for all industries. So some of our customers, we have a few different divisions within ECCouncil. We have an enterprise division, and that's more consulting. So if somebody needs help, right, if they need somebody to come in and do some consultative work as far as vulnerability assessment, that type of thing, we do work sometimes directly with customers. We have an academic division where we work with large universities across the world in providing the content for them to run cybersecurity training courses. We have our channel division, which is exit certified tech data, as well as some other training centers globally. And then we have a government division where we work directly with the DoD. I've been part of that government division. And just to kind of let you guys know, as far as, again, what these certifications mean, who's training with these certifications, we work directly with Central Command. We work directly with Cyber Command. We work directly with Fort McCoy, Fort Bragg. We work directly with the Air Force Cyberspace Command. So when people talk about, should I take a ECCouncil course, it's highly recommended. And again, if these branches of the military are using it, it's great for everyone. We also have a virtual division. So Exit Certified Tech Data can offer you training boot camp style, meaning putting people in seats in a classroom environment, brick and mortar, getting taught from an instructor. That is probably the best training you're going to get. Now, we have a virtual side as well that Exit Certified Tech Data can provide to you. If you are more comfortable with being virtual, so joining an ECCouncil run live online class, we have that available to you. If you're more comfortable with asynchronous, so self-paced training, we have that available to you as well. And these courses come with courseware, a lab environment, which we'll talk about in a minute. For the asynchronous, you get lecture videos broken down by chapter from one of our top instructors, kind of standing in front of a green screen, going through training slides and all of that. And you also get an exam voucher with remote proctoring service, meaning you can test out from home, being proctored via webcam or your laptop camera. Now, iLabs is our cloud-based lab environment. So this is where rubber hits the road. So when we talk about it's not policy-based, that it's hands-on, this is where that happens. So it is critical that students train hands-on to become experts in cybersecurity. And we are talking about experts here. So that's experts in all of the courses that we'll show you. But you can't become an expert without doing hands-on training. If you don't have a lab environment, that's like trying to teach a pilot to fly without a simulator, right? Teach a 16-year-old to drive by PowerPoint alone. It's got to be a hands-on environment. Ours is cloud-based, meaning it's accessible from anywhere. It's a secure sandbox, so you're not going to do damage to a network. So why? Why do we do this? All you have to do is turn on the news and you'll see some type of cyber attack happen to somebody somewhere, and it's only getting worse. Obviously it was huge news during the elections, Trump and Hillary. One of the biggest things now is what's called ransomware. This is the life we live here. It's kind of a daily thing, but if you're not familiar with that, ransomware is a malware attack that happens, and lately it's been happening quite a bit to hospitals. I say lately, it's actually been a couple of years. But hospitals get hit with a ransomware attack, meaning their computers are shut down. One of them, I remember, the story was that the people came into work, they turned on their computer, and the AC/DC song Thunderstruck started playing, and all there was Skull and Crossbones on all of the computers. And then you get a message basically saying that your computer has been infected with a virus. Unless you pay this ransom, normally in Bitcoin, your computers will be toast. So what happens is hospitals are held hostage, right? Hence the whole term ransomware. If they don't pay the ransom, then they can't get their computer systems back. That means that your system is shut down. Unless your backup files were siloed, then your backup files are also encrypted and inaccessible. So we got a call a couple of weeks ago from a very large bank here in the US that everybody knows, and they got hit with this. So they asked for our help, and we went in to check them out, and their files were toast, and their backup files were also toast. So the last time that they backed up their files and siloed them, meaning detached, was 7 years ago. So imagine a very large national bank, global bank, that had to start over with data that was 7 years old. That's an absolute nightmare. Imagine a hospital being turned back into the Stone Age, where all they have is pencil and paper. That means no CAT scans, no x-rays, no computers, no client data whatsoever, no drip feeds. So it's gotten to the point where it's scary. Cyber attacks are hitting public schools now. I heard a story the other day of somebody's home. They had a smart home, where you can control the light bulbs and all that kind of stuff. And the hackers had turned their thermostat up to 90 degrees and were talking to them through their smart home. Hackers can actually hack through, one of the best ways to hack into a home, believe it or not, is through a dishwasher. When you have a smart home, LED light bulbs, dishwasher, whatever it is, they come with a default password. If you don't change that, it's very easy to hack into. So this is why we do what we do. We have got to train people to become what we call ethical hackers or white hat hackers, as opposed to black hat hackers, which are the bad guys. So this graph really is kind of small, but the daily expense for North America was $12 billion spent on cybersecurity in fiscal year 18. A ton of money is just being spent on this problem. And again, it's only getting worse. We are under attack on a daily basis from nation states, from other organizations just trying to do damage, either steal data, damage reputations, credit card information, whatever it may be, or shut down power grids. Scary things like, for instance, what if Morton Salt got hacked? What if they were able to change the formula for salt? Nobody thinks about that really, but if salt became toxic, that would be a major, major problem. So the cybersecurity skills gap is getting worse. That is good news for anybody looking to get into cyber. Okay, so according to Forbes, we need a lot more white hat hackers, a lot more. And as you can see there in red, it's supposed to be 3.5 million unfilled positions in the industry by 2021. So it quite frankly, it's one of the best careers you could possibly pick. So is it worth it getting certified? This is a question that students ask fairly often. And the answer is, it is. It absolutely is. To legitimize your earnings, to legitimize your skills by earning certifications, right? So you might even not get a job because you don't hold a certification. So back in the day, a few years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it was, corporations would have IT professionals. And those IT professionals either did or did not hold certifications, and maybe it mattered, maybe it didn't. Those days are coming to a screeching halt. Organizations are now being asked what certifications their IT professionals hold. You have got to be able to validate the skills of your IT professionals. If you don't believe me, go talk to somebody in the DoD. It has gotten to a point now where taking a multiple question test doesn't cut it. Now they want to see performance-based skills. They want to see you actually perform the job. So ECCouncil, we've been stepping up our game when it comes to that as well. Now, what courses do you need before taking ECCouncil courses? How much training, how much experience do you need before taking our courses? It depends what course you're talking about, but for baseline training with ECCouncil, you should have had some certifications before, right? So as it says there, CompTIA, A+, Net+, Security+. Those are the standard baseline training courses that really are a great idea before you get started with ECCouncil. We're a different level, to be honest. Some people ask about subscription-based content, right? So there's all kinds of free, or not free, but let's say you pay $100 a year for subscription-based training and has all this content, right? Ethical hacking, this, network defense, that. Those are great. Those can be a great additional resource, but they do not by any means take the place of certifications. You've got to be able to hang a plaque on the wall. You've got to have the credentials next to your name in order to really launch your career. So what does ECCouncil offer? This is a quick screenshot of our website. We offer training. Our baseline training, bottom level, when it comes to cybersecurity, is Certified Network Defender. Then we have Certified Ethical Hacker. Again, that is what we are known for. We now have, as of fairly recently, a course called CEH Master. That, again, is performance-based. That is a practical challenge. If you take the CEH course and you get your CEH certification, you can sit for the CEH Master Practical Challenge. All that is a practical challenge range that we drop you into. And there are no instructions. You've got to figure out how to navigate and see if you can pass the practical challenge. If you do that, we will nominate you as a CEH Master. We have the same for another course that we have called ECSA, or that's our ECCouncil Certified Security Analyst. There's a practical for that as well. But as you can see, we have courses in a lot of different fields, whether it's licensed penetration tester, incident handling, forensics is a big one. We're going to take a minute to dive into a few of these in a minute to give you quite a bit more information on what these are about. Two of our newer courses are Certified Threat Intelligence Analyst, as well as the bottom right-hand corner, which is Certified SOC Analyst. So that's a Security Operations Center. Those are quite becoming more and more prevalent, these SOC centers, and people have been kind of poking at us saying we've got to come up with a SOC Analyst course, and it is now fully available. So what are the best certifications to get? Depending on what information you're looking at, what list you're looking at, CEH is either 1, 2, or 3. This one happens to be number 1. So again, what's the best certification to get when you're getting into cybersecurity? Certified Ethical Hacker. Number 10 on that list is our forensics course. There are a lot of other, there's a few other certification bodies that are like us. We're a certification body that have good courses as well. Personally, we, like ours, but certainly look into those as well. So this one is kind of important to me, and I hope it is to you guys as well. Official training versus non-official training. When you go to what is called an accredited training center, like Exit Certified Tech Data, you are going to get training and quality at the top level. If you decide that you would rather not do that, that is your prerogative. You can take training from anybody. There are all kinds of courses out there in cyber that are created by some reputable organizations, some very much not reputable organizations. This is kind of a joke, but Billy Bob's Ethical Hacking. I mean, I use that quite often, terminology, because you will see training centers out there. I call them training centers. They could be anybody. It could be a shack in the woods for all I know, but they offer some type of ethical hacking class. And a lot of times, just to be frank, it's a direct ripoff of ECCouncil. Other times, it's kind of a half-baked course. So if you take training from an accredited training center, first of all, you're going to want to look for that yellow or gold round logo that says ECCouncil Accredited Training Center. It will be prominent on their website. That's the first thing you want to look for. The course will be offered and taught by a certified ECCouncil instructor or a CEI. That is someone that is certified in the latest version of, for this example, Certified Ethical Hacker. Of course, this goes for any of our other courses. If it's network defense, they would be certified in the latest version of network defense. You're going to get use of our official training slides by the instructor and our official lab environment called iLabs. Our official courseware, which is, of course, updated with the latest tools and techniques. You'll get support from our team, and there's a good probability that you're going to pass the exam. Or you can slide over to Billy Bob, and you can get training offered by whatever it is that they do. They may be focused on Microsoft, but they throw in some hacking because they know it's popular. Is it taught by an instructor that even holds a CEH? No guarantee of that. The content's created by, don't know. Use of a lab exercise. Do they have a lab environment, or are they going to throw up a bunch of slides that they created and call it ethical hacking? So this lab exercise, this is kind of interesting because we are, in this case, talking about hacking, right? This is an offensive tactical course using offensive tactical tools. This is no joke, right? We train people to become the best of the best when it comes to cybersecurity. And that starts at network defense and CEH, but then it goes way up the chain. Now, there are some even ATCs that we have, accredited training centers, that have their own lab environment. And we provide a lab guide saying, here's what you need to create your own lab environment. It's not really cloud-based. You have to actually be there on site. But to give you a quick story about the danger. Years ago, probably, I think it was 2003 or 5, something like that, we ran a certified ethical hacker class in Las Vegas at the Bellagio Hotel. We offered the Bellagio Hotel to use our iLabs lab environment, and they said, oh, no, we have our own lab environment. We run all kinds of training with our lab environment. And we said, okay, we recommend using our lab setup guide? They said, no, we're in good shape. Ran the CEH class, and one of the students got outside of their network, out of the secure sandbox, if you will, and ended up shutting down the Bellagio Hotel in the middle of the afternoon. So imagine that, power out at the Bellagio Casino. So no joke, that's lesson learned, right? This training is for real. So if you look on the right-hand side of some of those logos, you see the one that says top right-hand corner, CEH, I think it says by Serve or something. That's not us. Don't know who that is. The other one below it, Ethical Hacking, again, not us. That top left, CEH Certified Hacker Bundle, I know who that guy is, but that is not us. And none of this is official. That CPEH, the blue and green there at the bottom, again, not us. We know who they are as well also. Matter of fact, they're actually located here in Tampa. So if you're looking for official training, please go to an accredited training center. Exit Certified is the perfect place to go. So let's talk about what this means to you for getting certified. If you want to start a career in cyber, advance your career in cyber, there are wonderful salaries. These are average incomes that I pulled up. That's here in Tampa. So if you happen to be living in, say, a larger city like maybe LA or New York, these salaries will be much higher than this. But these are just a few examples of just your average salary for holding these certifications. All right, we're going to run through these fairly quickly. It's 12:32, so we've got about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll have Q&A. But I just want to take you through these real quickly on some of our more popular courses. Certified Network Defender, baseline training. This is bottom of the floor when you come to ECCouncil. This is where you start. Now, you can take this in place of CompTIA Security Plus or Net Plus. Those courses are really more policy-based. They're going to give you the foundation and the fundamentals of security. This is hands-on tactical defensive training. You can see who it's for on the right-hand side. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with going through all this, but this course, is for protect, detect, and respond. So as you can see, the top right-hand corner, all the way in the top, $85,000 base salary or average salary for holding this certification. I'm sorry, not for holding this certification. I couldn't find C&D when looking for the certification itself. But if you look at a network security engineer, which is listed as one of the who's it for, that's the average salary for that person. Next, we recommend Certified Ethical Hacker. Again, this is our bread and butter. This course, again, offensive. So some of our courses are defensive, what we call blue team. Some of them are offensive, what we call red team. So the most desired information security training program in the industry. You can see we're on version 10 now. So we come out with a new version about every 12 to 18 months. We'll be coming out with 11, I think, probably Q1 of next year. So here's information on that. The 5 phases of ethical hacking. This is kind of cool, but it's reconnaissance, enumeration, or scanning. So reconnaissance, scanning, gain access, maintain your access, cover your tracks. In order to beat a hacker, you have to think like a hacker. That's what this is all about. If your organization is getting hit with a cyber attack, certified ethical hackers not only can recognize that, but they can go on the offensive. So a lot like if somebody is shining a light at you, if you take a mirror, you can shine a light right back at them. So if you're getting hit with a dedicated denial of service attack, or a DDoS attack, they call it, that's just flooding your network with information. So it just overwhelms everything. Your computer's like, I'm not doing that. I don't know what to do. You can turn that around and fire it right back at the bad guy and overwhelm his network. This is one of our newer courses we talked about, SOC Analyst. If you are working for a security operations center or thinking about it, this is perfect for you in that tier 1, tier 2 level. So a great course. This is actually only a 3-day course, but again, it is designed for that SOC analyst, cybersecurity analyst, entry-level cybersecurity professionals, anyone who wants to become a SOC analyst. Average salary, $75,000. Now keep in mind, that's average salary for a security operations center analyst or SOC analyst. But if you hold this certification along with CEH, then your value is much higher, right? The more certifications you hold, the higher your value, because the more you're worth, the more you can do. All right, so forensics. This is great for law enforcement, right? Defense, military, government agencies, banking, all that. So what happens? Your bank got hacked, okay? We got hacked. Our systems are compromised. Somebody got into our network. What's the first thing we do, right, as a IT person? Well, let's go pull the data log. Wrong. You just stepped on the evidence. That's what forensics is about, right? We have to gather the evidence. We have to give it to the FBI. If you go digging for who got in, you just smeared the fingerprint. ECSA, security analyst. This is really penetration testing. I actually was able to look this one up. Salary for ECSA, $94,000. Penetration testing, critical. It is critical to go in and look in an organization's network to find vulnerabilities. That's what this does. Find the vulnerabilities, patch the holes, give a report to your executive team. Now, a lot of organizations outsource this to companies like Deloitte, PwC. Guess what certifications those guys from Deloitte and PwC hold? Exactly, ECSA. So somebody's going to come in and they're going to do this job. Why not, as an organization, have somebody on your team already certified? Instead of looking at your vulnerabilities on a quarterly basis or every 6 months, how about having somebody look at your vulnerabilities daily or weekly? How about having somebody on your team that can not only look for vulnerabilities, but maybe somebody that holds a CEH that can go on the offensive? How about somebody that is a network defender? Anybody that has admin rights should have a network defense certification. CCISO. Okay, this is a completely different animal. This is C-level executive. Anybody that's looking to get into that C-level executive level, right? And it's not just CISO. This isn't becoming a CISO, Certified Chief Information Security Officer. This course is designed for everybody in that C-suite. CFO, CSO, CEO, CIO, you name it. It is getting C-level executives to learn to speak the same language when it comes to cybersecurity, not from a technical aspect. In this course, 5-day course, we run a war game, meaning we will actually put 3 C-level executives through a simulated cyber attack situation. So let's pretend they're the C-level executives of Infinity Corporation. You have just been hit with a ransomware attack. Your email systems are compromised. How do you communicate with your employees? You have 10 minutes to come up with your answer. Then you're going to get up in front of the other half of the class and give your answer. They give their answer, and then you reference back to the training material itself to give the exact perfect answer. Next. Media is aware of the attack. What do you say and when do you say it? Give us your answer. Go. You have 10 minutes. Your shareholders are on the phone. What do you say and when? Right? These are critical things to be able to manage and to have a plan in place when it all hits the fan. That's what this course is designed for. This course has actually been outselling our CEH course at some of our events. So learning tracks, quickly. How do you become a network defender, network defense and operations? Here's what we recommend. Take certified network defender, then take incident handling, then disaster recovery, and then we have a course called CAS 614, which is advanced network defense. If you go through that, you are worth quite a bit of money. You can see the organizations that that have employees with that certification with CND. Forensics, how do I become a forensics person? CND, CEH, you could take the CEH practical if you'd like and become a master. That's awesome. Incident handling, and then into forensics. Vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. CND, CEH, ECSA into the LPT master. If you hold the LPT master, write your own check. Work anywhere in the world. You are worth a pretty penny and you are highly valuable. And then CCISO, right? This isn't really a track. This is just kind of giving you some more information about CCISO. So enough of all that, right? Courses, yeah, got it. That's great. That is the way to advance your career. But some fun things that can take place. Global Cyber Olympics, right? We hold a Cyber Olympic competition globally and teams join, teams of 6, 8 people that join and have a cyber competition. It's a hacking competition. And it gets condensed down to a team, to about, I think there's 10 teams, and then we host it somewhere, whether it's in Toronto or Atlanta. This team, I believe, does it say Oracle? Usually the team from Deloitte wins. They're really, really good. But that's a cool thing that we do that you guys can do as well, right? So the world of cyber is just not some geek sitting in front of a computer 12 hours a day, right? It's an exciting world. We have a Hacker Halted event actually coming up next week that I got to fly out to. That's a really cool conference. We hold drone hacking workshops where we actually provide a storm kit, which is a little mini computer with a keypad. It's a penetration testing tool, and you can learn to hack drones. And we have a Takedown Con event that we host. Right, so cybersecurity career, again, it encompasses a lot more than somebody behind a computer just sitting there, right? Be your own hero. Hack the Pentagon. The Pentagon put out a competition to try and hack their systems, right? They selected a group, different people, and said, have at it. Try and hack our systems. If you can hack it, we'll pay you. A teenager won $125,000. A teenager. He penetrated their system. The guy in the top left-hand corner, quickly, I know we're running out of time, but quickly, that's Chris Roberts. Know him well. He'll be at our Hacker Halted conference. He right now is somewhere overseas, and he flies all over the world doing presentations. Cool guy. That's a hacker, right? Not a geek, not a nerd. Tattoos, long, crazy, different colored goatee every time. Was on a flight in North America, and he hacked into the plane's Wi-Fi system in flight, and he briefly shut down the left engine. Very, very briefly. So the plane turned slightly, and then he turned the engine back on, right? I'm talking very briefly, like almost unnoticeable from other passengers. But you know who noticed? Was the FAA. So the plane lands, and guess what happens? Chris is escorted off the plane. I don't know if it was immediately right then or shortly thereafter, but he is arrested, and he is locked up. And then guess what happens? He is hired by the FAA for a pretty penny. How did you do that, Chris? How in the heck did you hack into the Wi-Fi network and disable an engine on commercial aircraft? All right, so now he's famous in the hacker world. There's a lot of people like this, right? So Edward Snowden, right? Most of you probably know that name. He is a certified ethical hacker. Okay, so good guy, bad guy, however you want to look at that. There are guys that do these type of things that hack into organizations and say, hey, I got in, and I want to tell you how. Okay, you weren't authorized to get in, but you got in anyway. So we're pissed, but you're hired. So really, it's a great opportunity to get into cybersecurity, if you're already in, to advance your career. contact Exit Certified Tech Data, talk to them about courses coming up, how you can get involved, what's going on. So we'll go ahead and I'll turn this back over to, I guess, Michelle to kind of go through and see if there's any questions that have been posed.
Thank you so much, Todd. Yeah, now is a great time to open up the floor for some Q&As. We have a few queued up. So the first question comes from Michael. Thank you, Michael. So the question is, if you could elaborate, I think we covered it, but let's elaborate on this. The question, what is the recommended cybersecurity entry-level course for someone with little experience that an individual can go into to be certified and then move up the ladder?
Yeah, so great question. Again, I would look at CompTIA because CompTIA is going to give you that baseline training. CompTIA A+, Net Plus, Security Plus, not completely necessary. It's not a requirement. You could come to ECCouncil and say, I want to try for Certified Network Defender. That's fine. You don't have to have any IT experience or have any pre-certifications for Certified Network Defender. For Certified Ethical Hacker, we recommend 2 years of IT experience minimum, and it'd be great if you did hold some type of other certification like from CompTIA. I see that Zach actually asks a question as well. He says, I usually take a two-prong approach like IT Pro TV plus Exit Certified ILT to pass an exam. What's your opinion on that approach? I think that's a good approach. I know IT Pro TV. I know them well. We were considering, kind of trying to work with them, but it doesn't really fit our environment, right? So subscription-based learning isn't really in our wheelhouse at this very moment. There's quality material out there in some of the places. Just to give props to one called Cybrary, C-Y-Brary. That is a branch off of another training partner of ours. That's pretty good as well. Sometimes you have guys that are in the cyber industry, sometimes instructors that are certified as ethical hackers or penetration testers, whatever, that put together their own slides, and those things can be beneficial. So, I don't want to talk down to them, talk down about them at all. But I would say that that's a benefit to maybe taking training, but I would absolutely focus on the training with maybe those things as, just kind of an add-on. But being in front of an instructor that has taught this class before many times with official curriculum from ECCouncil, especially the lab environment, that is critical to success. We have people all the time, and I didn't talk about this on that slide, talking about Billy Bob's ethical hacking. If you take gray market training, what we call gray market, you probably saw it listed there. There's a $100 application fee, and you have to fill out an application to sit for the exam. The exam cost alone is, I believe, $1,100. It's $1,000 or $1,100 for the exam itself. Plus, you have to fill out this application. You have to wait for us to respond. We do that because we want to drive people to accredited training centers. A lot of people will come to us and say, I failed the exam. Okay, well, what training did you take? I trained it, with Cybrary or IT Pro TV, or I read one of your ethical hacking books. What book specifically did you read? It's not ours. I don't know who made that or what you read, so sorry. So I think it's a good idea to, kind of expand your resources, right? So whether it's, not performance-based, but, logging in to look at some free resources or some paid resources and all that, it's all great, but absolutely look to get your certification from Exit Certified.
That's awesome. And just to expand on that, I'm going to post a link in the chat for everyone right now. This link's going to bring you directly over to exitcertified.com, and it's going to highlight all of the ECCouncil courses that we are currently offering, as well as the current schedule. So another question from Jack. What was the highly paid position you had mentioned towards the end of the slide? Maybe if we could go back to the salary slide.
Not a problem. See how quickly my computer responds here. The highest paid one is a Certified Chief Information Security Officer. That's the certification you can get, but the position is called CISO, or Chief Information Security Officer. That is the highest paid one. Sorry, guys, for doing a little backing up here. Probably this one is the one you're referencing. So we can look at that one. Sorry, I got to move this box out of the way so I can see. 159, 94,000. To be frank, the highest paid you're going to get when it comes to ECCouncil courses, and probably in the industry, is penetration testing. Looking for vulnerabilities, looking for holes. ECSA is a way to get there into our licensed penetration testing, or LPT course. That's really kind of top of the charts. Now, there's a company out there called ISC Squared, which has a course called CISSP. You guys probably already know CISSP. That's a high paid position as well. The number one student going into our CCISO class is the CISSP person. CISSP has been the top of the mountain for the longest of times. There was nowhere else to go. Now those students can see that technically I'm at the top of the mountain. Now I need to get into management level.
That's great. Thank you.
Sure.
And Todd, can you provide any recommended reading material to prep for class and or exams?
Almost. There is, to answer you, no, not right now. We have a product that's going to be coming out very soon that's going to be called Cyber Quotient, or Cyber Q. Cyber Q is assessment. So it is assessing not just is this course right for you, but it assesses your skills where you currently sit. So to a national standard, are you at the standard, below, above the standard? And it goes deep into the assessment, as in this portion of what you do lacks a little bit of experience or knowledge. We recommend taking this because of that. So there's some cool things coming from ECCouncil that I'm going to kind of hold off on talking about now, but from an overall student perspective, we're going to be coming to you and offering things to you through Exit Certified that are going to be able to really expand your knowledge when it comes to certifications and or training in specific parts of certification. Like, what if you worked for Hewlett-Packard and needed to know how to do packet sniffing, right? Or packet analysis, sorry. And you really needed to focus on that. Well, rather than taking a whole CEH course, can you focus on a certain division of that? And that is something that is coming soon. We'll be launching some information on that soon. And CyberQ is the assessment part of that. As far as reading resources that are available right now, what we just talked about, I'd probably point you to Cybrary, IT Pro TV. They offer similar type things, but probably number one on my list would be Cybrary.
That's great. So the floor is still open. If there's any more questions, feel free to enter them into the Q&A window or in the chat window. And as we wait for any final questions to come in, I just want to take this moment to thank you, Todd, and to thank every one of you for attending our cybersecurity webinar. Tons of great information on how you can advance your career in this industry. We are going to send the recording of the session to everyone here who's in the room. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions if they come up later on. You'll have all of our contact information. I'll be hanging out here if there are any questions that do come in, but I think that we can jump back to the Q&A box because we just have one that's come in. So thank you for the transparency. I agree. I was talking about that before the webinar. I think it's really great to have just a completely transparent view of what a career in this industry would look like. Regarding exit certified, any future outlook on an annual package? For example, my employer is paying instead of one-off, a yearly path or package could be sold easier internally. That's a great question. And Jack, for you or for anyone else who has a similar question, I would strongly recommend reaching out to Exit Certified. We'll connect you with one of our dedicated education representatives. They're going to find a package that works for you, your needs, your company's needs. And we are very flexible and accommodating. So I strongly recommend reaching out to us. We'll connect you with someone who will be able to determine the right training path for you and your colleagues. All right, everyone. I will be here if there are any other questions, but I think we can adjourn. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Todd, another question.
I'm
Can
still
an
here.
individual jump programs once they finish the baseline course? For example, after completing CompTIA, then to CND, can one jump straight to CEH?
Yes, actually, that's the perfect path, actually. CompTIA, then into CND. So you get through CompTIA, then you start with our baseline, which is CND. The next recommended course for you is CEH. Now, great point you bring up. I think of our training like a tree, right? So when you start at the base of the tree, you have CND, then you have CEH, and then you start to branch out into different divisions, whether it's forensics, whether it's incident handling, disaster recovery, penetration testing. So yes, you can, let's say you got your CND and you wanted to go right into forensics and not get your CEH. You could, but it's really highly recommended you get your CEH. But after your CEH, you can jump anywhere, straight into penetration testing, straight into forensics, you know, whatever direction you want to go. So yeah, that's a great question. That's my pleasure.
All right, everyone. That wraps up our webinar today. Have a great one.